Okay, so if we're starting from our main screen here, we want to select Garageband. And what you want to do, if this isn't open up, which it probably won't, you want to hit this square of many squares up here. That is our instrument selector. Really important to know in this program. And you can see all the different stuff, from drums to just audio recording to guitar amps to other drums, etc. A lot of stuff to explore. But what we want to do is get to the sampler, because you can see that speech bubble. In fact, you should always read the prompts on the screen. This one says record a sound and then play it with the on-screen music keyboard. Incredible! Yes, please. Now, once we're in here, it's going to tell you exactly what to do. As you can see, point your iPad towards the sound you want to record, then tap start. After you stop recording, you can instantly play the sound on the sampler keyboard. You guys are so lucky to be living in the future. Why don't I make that my first sample? You guys are so lucky to be living in the future. Alright, there it is. Now what you can see up here is what Herbie had on his screen, which is waveforms. This is what you look at if you're a DJ, of where to start a song. These are main pulses of my speech recorded in the shape of sound. Maybe you're already familiar with this, but waveforms are very important to know how to read. It's like a digital landscape of sound. See how it kind of looks like trees reflected in a pond where you have the high and the low, your amplitude? It's a really graceful way of looking at sound. I love waveforms. Anyway, let's check out what that sounds like. Oh my goodness, that was slow-mo mode. As Mark Ronson said, everything sounds cool when it's slower, and it does. But I wanted a normal speed, so make sure your octave button is putting you up near C3, because that is going to be your main middle ground of music. Let's listen to it again.
You guys are so lucky to be living in the future.
That's a little Buddy the Elf. Let's see.
You guys are so lucky.
A little still high.
You guys are so lucky.
Sounding closer to my voice, I think.
You guys are so lucky.
That's slow.
You guys are so lucky. You guys are so lucky to be living in the future.
I guess that would be it right there. If you look at C, B, A, for some reason it put it at A2. You might have a hard time finding where your sample gets put in the first place, where it sounds natural. But what you want to do is then start exploring. What about Super Chipmunky? Oh my goodness. If you want something to be clear when it's sped up, try saying it slower. Let's go back to new sample, and I want to get chipmunk sound out of it. So we're going to say what we're saying slow so that when we speed it up, it still sounds normal speed. I love the sampler. See how I slowed it down there? Let's go back up to chipmunk mode. Here we go. Oh my goodness, there it is. Instant Alvin and the Chipmunks. I love it. Anyway, let's think about using this in a couple of different ways. One, reverse. You can turn it backwards. Alright, well, that was funky. That was kind of weird. Now you can also loop it so it keeps playing. That's good for like shorter samples. In fact, I'll record a new sample of me singing. Ready? Here we go. La. Let's hear it. Let's find that note again. That sounds about good there. Now, what I can do is if I trim my waveform, I can get it so it loops continuously and it never stops playing. Ooh, there we go. Anyway, so let's go to one more sample here, and this is where we're going to be playing our backwards game today. Alright, backwards game is a weird one, and I'll tell you how it goes. You record a sample of you, Carl Kitty. You record a sample of you saying something, anything, like, I love my cat.
I love my cat.
I love my cat. That's about it right there. Last note I used. So let's go to reverse and listen to it in backwards, and make sure you trim that waveform so you hear the whole thing. Okay, let's listen. Alright, I can volya. That's the best I can do. I'm going to go to new sample and record that. I can volya. Ready? I can volya. Alright, I just recorded nonsense. I can volya into my sampler. This is what it sounds like. I can volya. I can volya. The same thing I said. Now reverse it and see if it sounds like I love my cat forwards.
I love my cat.
Oh, I love my cat. I love my cat.
I love my cat.
I love my cat. Oh my goodness, this is the funnest game to play, I feel like, with the sampler, at least for just a game. You can take something you say, play it backwards, learn the sound of it backwards, and then mimic the sound of it backwards with your voice, then flip it around again and see if it comes back out again.